it can be quite frustrating to leave and join again. Thank you so much to everyone for patience. Again, sincere apologies for the technical errors which are there. Jazakallah, brother Baba Meher. Jazakallah khair. Brother Babar Meher, if it's all right, you can share the live with Dr.
Rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. How are you, brother?
I'm doing well.
Alhamdulillah, that's good to hear. Well, we were talking a little bit on chat, and something I really wanted to know is that, do you consider me a Muslim?
I don't.
Why is that?
I have already given you the reasons for that. Why we as Muslim Ummah have a consensus that we don't consider you as Muslims. But if you want a detailed answer, I can give you that as well.
Where does this consensus come from? Which I don't say that there is a consensus. I do think that there isn't. Even, if we look at very popular Salafi scholars, Wahhabi scholars, they don't consider us kafirs. Even, Sheikh Albani, right? He said that we're the last section of Islam and we are Muslims, alhamdulillah. So,
Sheikh Albani said that Jamat Ahmadiyya is Muslims. Are you, brother? I respect you a lot, but was Mirza Ghulam Qadiani alive during the time of Sheikh Albani?
he wasn't.
He was alive. Albani died in 98, 96 or 90.
96.
Yes, and
he was alive. He wasn't alive. Actually, he was born after his death, probably.
So he declared that Mirza Ghulam Qadiani and Jamaat Ahmadiyya are Muslims.
No, he didn't.
But that's what he said. That.
Of course, 100% he did. I mean,
Show us where did he say?
Yep.
Okay, I will send you a video if you could just follow me.
Yeah, which video is it?
We'll see that too. Dr. Holy Spirit, sir, if you could give a summary of reasons why we as Muslims consider Jamaat Ahmadiyya to be non-Muslims.
The first of all, this Albani answer. Albani was a Moroccan man. He was a watchmaker, and his father was a watchmaker, and he part-time used to teach in a madrasa.
Your voice, Dr. Saab, isn't very clear. I sincerely apologize.
I don't know what's the reason for it. Just let me...
It's all right now.
Yeah, because if I bring the mic too close to myself...
No, it's perfect now, Dr. Saab, perfect.
Yes. The Albani was a part-time religious teacher in a religious school called Madrasa in Morocco. He is known for, his father had some knowledge of traditions called ahadith. And he is known for the fact that he told that which hadith, the credibility of traditions of Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he commented on them. And he said, this is Hasan, this is Sahih, and he gave some reason. And he used the criteria which was used in that part of the world, not in the main Hijaz land. So that's the reason for him. He was born in 20th century and he lived in 20th century, and you will find the modern ahadith where the Albani has given the sanad or certification, whether you call him Sahih. I do not find the certification of Albani a very accurate certification, and this is the view of Jamia al-Azhar and Jamia al-Madina. Both universities do not recommend his testification or verification of the traditions, mainly because of the fact that he has written few books, and those books have error in them. But I have read a couple of his books. I think he hasn't written very many books. His books are related to the ahadith, and I haven't found that he ever said that Mirza Ghulam Qadiani was a Muslim. As a matter of fact, I will be very surprised if he ever commented on Mirza Ghulam Qadiani.
See, before this,
but Jawan, I'll quickly say that, I mean, that's irrelevant whether one...
if you just, you said, the consensus, right? I'm just kind of like commenting on that. So I don't really think it's irrelevant unless, your rebuttal to me being a non-Muslim is irrelevant. But As he was saying, I do agree with him to some extent, but I think he's getting two Albanis mixed up. There is two Albanis, and they are very, very, very similar. In fact, I think they're actually very distant cousins as well. There's one Moroccan, and there is one Albanian, right? And the one that you're talking about is Moroccan. Yes, you're right. He was a bookkeeper, and he was also something to do with watches as well. But there is also a Wahhabi scholar who many, many, many people follow. Many, many people. And I don't have in his books. If you just let me finish, please.
If you could share the reference with us,
Of course,
where in
like I
his
said,
writings he have said that he considers MDs to be Muslims, even though that's completely irrelevant to what we
it's
want.
not irrelevant because you said
It is,
consensus, right?
But if you could tell me which page number, which book, I'll enlarge
if
you. You can
let me
share
finish,
that.
of course. If you could just let me finish. I was saying that, in fact, he didn't even say this in a book. He said this live. He said this in a talk. And I have a video, not me, but I can send you a video recording or a voice recording of him actually saying this. But as I was saying, it is relevant because you said consensus, and obviously this is not consensus, right?
Can you please tell us the definition?
I think that
Yes, sir.
just one thing. I think he is talking about Nasruddin Albani. Am I right?
I do believe so.
Yeah, Nasruddin Albani is no scholar of Islam. Basically, that chap is from Albania, and I think that he might still be alive, or I'm not quite sure about him.
What? He has passed away.
He passed away. Oh yes, you are right. He probably passed away in the end of the 20th century, and he lived quite a good age, as a matter of fact. And he was born in 1914, the same year as Hakim Nuruddin died. He was actually born few months after him in August. He is not considered even by Albanian people a very credible scholar of Islam.
I would disagree.
And you might have his videos, but it means nothing.
Okay, listen. Inshallah, this little back and forth, we're not really getting anywhere, right? So I do have a question for you guys, if you guys do want to answer, which is totally up to you. But yeah, would you
Go
guys
ahead.
So obviously our position is that Isa alayhi salatu wasalam, peace be upon him, has passed away a natural death. And we take Quran and Hadith and Ijma of Sahaba from this, right? And so we look at the Quran. I'm sure you've heard this many times, but I'm curious to see your answer on this. Where in Surah Ali Imran, ayah 55, where it says, إِذْ قَالَ اللَّهُ يَا عِيسَى إِنِّي مُتَوَفِّيكَ وَرَافِعُكَ إِلَيَّ. What are your thoughts on this? Because this verse, the way we translate it, right? We say that, oh Jesus, I caused you to die and I raised you up to myself.
Okay, we'll respond to this question and then maybe we can pose one as well. Dr. Saab, if you would like to respond to this one, please.
No, first of all, I can give you a reference of Mirza Ghulam Qadiani. He didn't say that Inni Matwafika, I'll give you a death. That's not the translation of Mirza Ghulam Qadiani. Just give me a second. I'll find you the reference of that.
Okay, go ahead.
Let him finish, please, Jawan.
Okay, Jazakallah. Okay.
Yeah, I'll give you that reference so that you could read the translation done by Mirza Ghulam Qadiani himself, or maybe somebody on his behalf, but it's written under his name. So if you have got a pen to write down, I will read the reference where he has translated this word is قال الله يا عيسى إني متوفيك ورافعك إلي ومطهرك من الذين كفروا وجاعل الذين اتبعوك فوق الذين كفروا إلى يوم القيامة ثم إلي مرجعكم فأحكم بينكم فيما كنتم فيه تختلفون. You should read the full words. It is best practice to read the whole, not to take the meanings from a couple of words. Now take down the reference. It's called Khazain Volume 1, page number 620. It's Brahine Ahmadiyya Volume 4 and he translates this third line from the bottom on this page, and in Urdu he writes, "मैं तुझको पूरी नेमत दूंगा." I will give you the full reward, right? मैं तुझको पूरी नेमत दूंगा. The problem with Qadianiyat is they don't believe in Mirza Qadiani. And particularly those who are the so-called Khalife, that group has got nothing to do with Mirza Ghulam Qadiani. And before I say something else, I want to tell you something. Before you talk about Quran or Hadith, I just answered this because the answer was related to Mirza Qadiani writing. You must answer us a question whether Mirza Ghulam Qadiani fulfilled the criteria of prophethood or any other criteria. This is the question which has been answered by the people. I would suggest you read a PhD thesis from Pennsylvania University, Dropsy College. The author of that PhD thesis is Alfred Moll, and it has been supervised by the top scholars of comparative religion. He has answered this question. Does Mirza Ghulam Qadiani fulfill any criteria on the basis of which one could consider him either a scholar or is he fit to occupy the office of the prophethood, which is one of the top office in the religious world? So if you could answer that question and answer it with the reasons, then obviously I'll be very happy to talk about the Quran and Hadith. Without you answering, the issue is not Quran and Hadith, according to your claims of your Jamaat. The issue here between the Muslims and Ummat Qadiani or Ummat Mahmudiyya, actually, if you believe in Khalifa, I'll tell you, your Khilafat is the clear violation of the last will of Mirza Ghulam Qadiani. He made this will in October 1907, and he categorically, I'm not reading the text, I can read the text and can even show you here. He said in that will of him, and that's the last will of Mirza Ghulam Qadiani, that in his life and after his life, an Anjuman, i.e. a group, will be responsible for making a decision how his followers and this Jamaat should be run.
Yes. Dr. Saab, if I could get back to Jawan, that's all right.
Yeah, sure.
Yes,
Okay.
Jawan.
Jazakallah. I asked, a question, and, you gave me a response to that, which, I'll respond to right now. But, I asked, from the sincerity of my heart, that you don't go off topic. A lot of times when I ask a question to somebody, like we got into discussing now khilafat, right? Like you started talking about khilafat, the portions of a prophethood, what makes the prophethood, this type of stuff. I asked a question, and alhamdulillah, I'm waiting for, I got my answer. Now I'm going to respond. But, we don't have to go on about this other talk, right? I just asked the question, right? Hopefully we can go one topic at a time, inshallah. So, I don't know if this reference you gave me, Rahina Ahmadiyya or Rouhani Khazain or something like that, was it written before his claim of prophethood or no?
It is a book written by Mirza Ghulam Qadiani, and he said this is a divine book. He said he has everything written in this book is divine.
Okay, you'd have to show me the reference for that as well. But
No.
I'd have to, just let me finish,
It is written
please.
in its preface by Mirza Ghulam Qadiani. And
Okay.
Have you taken down the reference? Or you don't, you think before the claim of prophethood he was not really a wise person? That's
No,
what
I
you are
didn't say
telling
that.
me?
I didn't say that either. I said before the
Or
claim
has
of
he
prophet.
told something
just
wrong?
please, inshallah, let me finish, right? I let you go on for maybe 10 minutes, not 10 minutes, but I let you go on, right? Now, if you could just let me respond, please. You would have to give me the reference of in Ruhani Khazan where he gives the translation for this. But I do agree that before, not even before, within prophethood as well, certain prophets can make mistakes if they're not given revelation to. For example, Prophet Muhammad, peace be and blessings be upon him, in Hadith, he stated that you should treat me as you treat, you should hold the status of me as you hold Nuh alayhi salatu wasalam, right? Now, obviously, Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam is much greater than Nuh alayhi salatu wasalam. So why would he say this, right? It
When
hasn't been
you give
revealed to that.
any reference, please give us reference as well. Just don't make claims, brother.
Okay, well, I don't have the reference at the top of my head. You can search it up. Inshallah, it will be, there's
No.
Muslim sites
Reference is
debunking
your
this.
responsibility,
Yes.
my dear. Otherwise, I will consider everything a lie.
Yeah, obviously, the reason for that is Dr. Saab could say, for example, that it's written in Ruhani Khazan that Mirza Masroor shouldn't be the caliph and Mr. X should have been the caliph. But obviously, that will make sense to you that that's not necessarily the truth. So, for the
Okay.
understanding, it's
Let
better.
me find the reference right now, then. Let me find the reference right now.
Yeah. But if you can't, that's fine. Just go on.
Okay. So, inshallah, I'll look into where you said Hazrat Mirza Ghulam Ahmad alayhi salatu wasalam translated this word as that. Another point I want to address is the fact that you said that before we go on to the Quran and Hadith, we talk about Mirza Ghulam Ahmad alayhi salatu wasalam's writings. This is completely wrong. I don't have the reference for this as well, but I'm going to say it. In the Quran, the Yahudi, the Jews, right? They made this same mistake, right? And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala writes in the Quran that judge by what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has revealed, right? So if this man is a truthful man and his claim is truthful, we should judge by Quran and Hadith. So, as I was saying, back to the topic, in Bukhari, Kitab of Tafsir, this word is translated by a Sahaba. This ayah is given tafsir on by a Sahaba. And Mutawafika is translated as death. So you
Where
have
is
to
it?
answer.
Reference.
Bukhari, Kitab of Tafsir,
Yes.
Tell
under
us.
Surah Al-Ma'idah, ayah 117.
Bukhari
Okay.
Kitab al-Tafsir.
Number.
No, it's left as a muallaq narration, so there is no number to it.
No, that's not a reference.
Yeah, that's not a reference.
What do you mean that's not a reference?
That's not page number, volume number, anything.
Okay. Do you want me to? Okay. Let me find. I had the book right in front of me. Can you let me turn my camera on?
Yep, sure.
And look, before you go there, you have to talk about the life and time of Mirza Ghulam Qadiani.
Okay.
According
If you
to
like,
you, no, let me say.
but this was my turn, right? I was.
While
on
you
this
open it,
full
let
turn.
Dr. Saab
It's right. It's right here. It's right in front of me. It's right in front of me. Right. This is Bukhari, Sahih Bukhari. Right. We open this up
Sahih Bukhari.
to page 115. Right here, Kitab al-Tafsir, Book of Commentary. This is right here. وقال ابن عباس متوفيك Surah Ali Imran, ayah 55, مميتك, which is mount death.
What's the reference? Sahih Bukhari, Kitab al-Tafsir, which page number?
Page 15.
And what's the international numbering of this?
I have no idea what international numbering is.
There is an international number with everything.
Yes, there must be an international numbering.
No, I don't accept it until you tell me the international number of that.
What is international numbering, by?
International numbering is the number which you just Google it and the hadith pops out.
So you
I have
want
got
me to show you from
Bukhari.
Google?
No,
But
I've
the
got a
international
Bukhari in front of me.
numbering is the numbers which are allotted to each and every hadith which are accepted internationally.
Do you guys know what a muallaq narration is or no?
We do understand what you are saying, but you are
So
not.
you would also know that a muallaq narration by Sahih Bukhari, by Bukhari, rahimahullah, he himself has left it without a number.
Okay, you can please continue, finish your point, and then
No,
we'll.
no, these are not acceptable thing. Anyway,
This is 100%.
I
What
am
do you mean
here
anyway?
to talk
was,
about, no, listen to me.
brother. I was told that I was gonna give my full time after you
Okay,
talk, right?
go on, Jawan. Dr. Sab, let him complete. Go on, Jawan.
Thank you. So this is, I will tell you right now that I have not read Barrister Ahmadiyya.
I'm not
I think
interested in your Hadith and Quran. I'm
Yeah.
only interested in Mirza Ghulam Qadiani.
Yep. Dr. Sab, that's all right. Let him first complete. Go on, Jawan.
Okay, as I was saying, this is in Sahih Bukhari, the most authentic book after the Quran. And it very clearly states that in Surah Al Imran that Isa والسلام, has passed away. Ibn Abbas, the cousin of the Holy Prophet Muhammad, peace and these blessings be upon him, who the Holy Prophet Muhammad ﷺ, which has said that, oh Allah, grant him the understanding of the Quran. To say that this person is wrong is a very big thing, right? So I will look into your reference for that you said. Hello?
Yes.
Can you hear me?
Yep.
Yeah, I will look into your reference, inshallah. I'll look into your reference. I'll get you an answer, inshallah, by tomorrow, right? But I want you to answer this by tomorrow as well. In Bukhari Kitab of Tafsir, it states the tafsir of this very ayah by Sahaba, unless you want to reject the Sahaba, right? It says that Isa والسلام, has passed away. You have to answer this now.
Okay.
I can answer it right now.
Yes, go ahead, Dr. Sab.
The first of all, this translation is against the Mirza Ghulam Qadiani. And if Mirza Ghulam Qadiani said the different thing, then obviously he is a liar, according to Bukhari, because Bukhari was there in his time. He has said something absolutely opposite to the Bukhari. He said, कि मैं तुझ पर नेमत पूरी करूंगा. I have given you a reference. So he is a liar, he is a wrong man. That's all. And the second thing is, I have got no interest in Quran or Hadith unless somebody who comes from this sect, because according to all the scholars of the world, Mirza Ghulam Qadiani is a liar. First of all, I want to ask you a question. You tell me the date of birth of Mirza Ghulam Qadiani. Let's start from there. Then I will tell you how deceptive your people who call themselves Qadiani are. And it's not a strange thing to ask somebody the date of birth. You call him a prophet, tell me the date of birth of Mirza Qadiani. Start from here. That's my question to you.
Are you done?
And don't run away now.
Okay, I'm not running away. I asked you a question and you couldn't answer.
No, I'm asking a question. I answered both of your questions.
So do I come in this live for you to ask me questions, or do I come in
Yes,
here for
of
you to
course.
answer me?
You are not the only one who was asking the question. I am asking the question. You asked the question. I gave you an answer. And I'm
Absolutely
asking
not.
very innocent question. When was he born?
Absolutely not. You did not give me an answer whatsoever.
We have given you, Jawan,
I have given you a reference and an answer both, and now you tell me when
have
Mirza
given
Ghulam
me a
Qadiani
reference
was
from-
born.
You have given. If you just let me finish.
Yeah, Jawan, so you asked 3 questions. Why do we declare you kuffar? Then you narrated verse of Quran Pak. We have given our point of view on that, and we have shown you that there's a contradiction between Mirza Ghulam Qadiani and what you have brought up over here as well, right? So if
But I want your answer.
Yes.
I don't want
Yes.
you to
Yep.
address what
Yeah.
Mirza Ghulam Ahmad
Let me complete. So there is a contradiction between Mirza Ghulam Qadiani and Bukhari. So that is essentially proves that Mirza Ghulam Qadiani is not a true prophet. You yourself did that over here right now. I hope
He
that's
has
quite
proved
clear.
he was a liar.
Okay.
Yep.
So I told
Okay,
you.
I
I told
accept he
you.
is a liar, and you are right. If the Bukhari has written that, then
Yes.
Mirza Qadiani is a liar.
Yep.
Finish.
So
Okay.
yep. So that's one thing, right? Now let's jump on to another thing. Dr. Saab.
No. Inshallah, no. You have to come on. You have to let me respond to this.
Why don't you tell us his date of birth?
Okay, you can
You call him a
respond.
prophet.
Please,
What
Yeah.
you are
let me
afraid
respond
of?
to this without being cut off.
Okay.
This civil
Just
conversation.
tell his date of birth.
Dr. Saab, okay, you can respond to it one last time. Your
No,
point
there's
of view
no
on that.
one last time. We're not having a debate here. We're having a conversation, a civil
Yes.
conversation.
Yeah,
You know,
it's
can
a
this
civil
civil
conversation.
conversation
When was
not
he born?
see? Like, do you see this? Like, you should kick this guy off the panel.
No,
Right?
Jawan, okay, if you want to respond take a minute or two to give your point of view, and then if you could respond to Dr. Saab's question, please.
It's not my point of view because he hasn't given a rebuttal. I told him that I would look into that reference, right? I don't have the answer to that reference right now. I don't have his.
Which is
Just let me
fine.
finish, please. Just let me finish.
Okay,
Just
go on.
Just let me finish, please. Please. So I told you I don't have all of his books memorized, right? I'm still reading Jamat Ahmadiyya. I'm on volume 1, right? You brought me something. I doubt you've even read the page that it's on, right? I very doubt that, right? I don't think you've even done that, right? Let alone the book, right? So I'll look into. I told you I'll look into that. And now when I asked you this, right? You said, "Oh, this proves that Mirza Ghulam Ahmad ﷺ is a liar." But I asked you a question. This contradicts
You
your
have
belief.
proven it.
Please, come on, please.
Conversation is
Let him complete, Dr. Saab. Yes, please.
I mean, I'm
Dr.
so
Saab, just
surprised. I gave him a reference. I said, this is what Mirza Qadiani says. And he said that this is opposite to Bukhari. Okay, Mirza Qadiani is a liar.
That's fine.
all.
Let him complete, Dr. Saab. Please go on.
Dr. Saab, please, Dr. Saab, you're showing me very much disrespect by cutting me off. Like, please, I ask you.
Okay.
Yes,
you are
yes.
going waffling about the things.
I'm not waffling. I
make a
asked you a
reasonable-
question.
I have asked you a question. When was he born? Is it a very difficult question?
And we're talking something right now, and you're jumping to something else.
No,
saying
I'm
what is
not
born.
jumping. That
Jump-
topic is
Absolutely
finished.
jumping.
Okay,
You
Dr.
are,
Saab.
no. Look, you are going to confirm this. You go and do it.
Yep.
Come back after confirmation. We will continue. Now my question is, when Mirza Ghulam Qadiani was
No.
born?
I'm not finished.
Okay,
I'm not finished.
please carry on, Jawan, and then please do respond to the question of Dr. Saib as well.
Brother Zach, is that your name?
Yes.
Yes. If you could just mute this person while Dr. Saab, while I talk, right? You know, it'd be
Please
very
go
beneficial.
on. Please go on.
Okay. As I was saying, that in Bukhari Kitab, you haven't answered this at all. You just said, oh, look, it's a contradiction in your book. When I haven't studied that reference, I don't know the answer to that reference. This contradicts your belief that Isa ﷺ is alive in the heavens. According to Sahaba, it is translated as death. According to Sahaba, it is translated as death. You're saying, oh, look, your belief says that this is a contradiction. This is a contradiction. I haven't studied into that. That's fine. I'll get back to you on that. But it also contradicts your belief. And when I ask you about, brother, how does this contradict your belief? You say, no, look, it contradicts your belief. You're not answering the question. You're diverting the question with another question, right? And I've already told you that I'm going to look into that. Now you may go ahead.
Now, can you tell us the date of birth of Mirza Ghulam Qadiani?
Are you not going to answer me?
Now, can you answer when was Mirza Ghulam Qadiani born? If you don't know the answer to that, that's perfectly fine.
I do know the answer to that, but are you not going to answer me? I've asked you a question.
So you bring your reference and then we'll bring ours and then we can proceed from there on, right? Now, do you know
brothers,
the right?
when I speak, brothers, I expect you guys to listen. You know, this isn't just a one-way thing. This isn't a dars. Right? This
I
isn't a
was
lesson.
listening to you, man. That's why you were.
So you would understand that I presented a point which needs response to. Right?
And we have also presented a point which needs a response from you.
And I have said that I'll look into that, but you have not answered, you have not addressed it at all. You just said, let's go on to the next topic.
Yep. So when you bring that reference, we can proceed from there on, right? I'll wait for your reference and you can wait for mine. So meanwhile, we do that. Meanwhile, I wait for your reference. Let me complete. While you were speaking, I was pinned up silent. Now, if you know the date of birth of Mirza Ghulam Qadiani, feel free to share that. If you don't know that, that's fine as well. I can help you with that.
Are you finished?
Yes.
Okay. As I was saying, you think this is some game of reference. It is not just some game of reference. I'm telling you that I'd like the answers. If you don't know, then that's fine. You don't just say you don't know. You look into it, right? I'm giving you something that contradicts your Sahaba, right? And you're saying, oh, it contradicts you as well. Okay, fine. I'll look into that. But how do you determine? How do you explain why it contradicts your belief? How do you explain why this thing contradicts your belief as well? It, quote unquote, by your logic, does contradict my belief as well. And I'll look into it. I'll see what happened here, right? If context proves otherwise, or this happened, right? But you have to understand. You have to explain to me why this does not contradict your belief now.
I don't want to repeat myself again. I've got what you have said. Everyone has listened to what you have said. Everyone has listened to what I have said. I'm not going to repeat myself again. Now, if you're going to answer the question of Dr. Saab, and then maybe once you get a response to our questions which we have posed to you, we can proceed the debate from there on.
Brother, I told you this isn't a dars. I don't want to repeat myself either. Okay?
Yep.
I just need an answer. If you don't have an answer, that's fine. We can move on. You can say, I don't know, right? This contradicts my belief, but I don't know. Like I said that, this contradicts my belief, I don't know, I'll look into it, right? Now, if you don't know as well, right, you don't jump to a different topic because you don't understand, right? Now, this is probably going to go through in one ear and out the other ear. Because you're going to say...
you who said you are going to look at the reference. I mean, are you feeling okay? You go look at the reference, come back and talk about it. We never said we are going to go and look at any reference, okay? You have proven Mirza Ghulam Qadiani is an utter liar, and I have accepted that. Now I'm asking you very simple question. The question is, when was he born? What's your problem? He's your prophet.
No, I'm just telling you.
Tell the answer.
No, you're not
answering.
You give me a one-word answer, please. Please, if you say you don't know, then say you don't know, right? All I'm asking you is, this also, just let me finish. This also contradicts with your belief. This isn't only contradicting with my belief.
What's your problem to tell his date of birth?
We're not talking about that right now. We're talking about something else.
No, I'm talking about it.
I'm not talking about it. Now what? I'm not talking about it.
Oh, you are not telling the date of birth. Oh my God. Everyone who is listening, he does not want to disclose the date of birth of Mirza Qadiani.
I hope everybody who's listening understands the 26 people who are
Understands
listening.
why the guy is not telling. Oh, what's the secret
that
about
we're talking
it?
about something. I caught him.
What's the
and now he
secret
says,
about
Mirza
his
said
date
this,
of birth?
and then he ran away.
No,
This is
what's
exactly
the
what's
secret
happening.
about his date of birth, my dear?
This is what?
Do you know your birthday? When you were born?
What are you saying right now? Doctor,
No, I'm just asking. Maybe you don't know yours either.
If you're not
You
capable,
are not disclosing the date of birth of Mirza Qadiani. Why?
if you are not capable of answering,
No, you are not capable, man.
because
I'm
we're
quite
talking
capable.
about something. We're talking about
No,
something.
you couldn't even read the Quran correctly. You cannot read Arabic language, and you are quoting something which is absolutely absurd. I gave you a perfect reference. You don't know it. You said you will look into it. So I said, okay, go home, have a look. That's the decent thing.
And I gave you a perfect reference, and you
listen
said
to me.
no. Mr. said
What's
this,
the
Mr.
date
that.
of birth of Mirza Qadiani?
See, everybody in
When
the
was
chat,
the
look
guy
that he's
born?
jumping. See that he's jumping.
Why are you
See?
afraid of telling his date of birth?
I'm
It
not
is one
afraid of
word
telling-
answer.
I'm not.
Tell me,
afraid
when
of,
was he born?
I'm not afraid of telling his birth. I'm just
Because you
telling
know
that
he was a bastard.
I'm just stuff for a while.
No, that's what I'm gonna prove to you, that he was born bastard. Ghulam Murtaza is not his father. A bastard cannot be a prophet. Oh, look, that's the Qadiani thing he has done.
Yes, please carry on, Dr. Saab.
No, for the people who are listening to us, I can tell that Mirza Ghulam Qadiani people say that he was born in a kind of, let me pull out the reference so that I could show the references to everybody who is listening to us, why Qadiani are afraid of talking about the date of birth. They say he was born in 1835. And the reference, I will give the reference. That guy must be listening downstairs, right? That's why he is afraid of talking about Mirza Qadiani. Because his whole life, he is full of rubbish things. Now the reference, everybody note the reference. Siratul Mahdi, whatever it is, and page 820 and volume 3. Here it is written, it can be 1832 or 1835. Actually, and the evidence they produce is, I'll read in Urdu first. जिन लोगों ने मिर्ज़ा कादियानी की सोबत का शर्फ हासिल है, they write some things there. इनमें से ऐसे बहुत से साहब मौजूद हैं जिन्होंने आपकी ज़ुबान से बारहा सुना कि आप अपनी उम्र के मुतल्लिक़ फरमाया करते थे, which means that they have heard from Mirza Qadiani that he used to say about his age. जब हम पैदा हुए तो फागन का महीना था और जुम्मा का रोज था, पिछली रात का वक्त था, कमरी हिसाब से चांद की 14वीं थी. और यही बात अखी मुफ्ती मोहम्मद सादक ने अपनी किताब जिक्र हबीब के सफ़ा नंबर 239 पर लिखी है. I'll translate in. He said, Mirza Qadiani used to say, when I was born, it was the month of Phagan, and it was the Friday, and it was the midnight or after midnight, and from the and it was the 14th night of the moon. And according to that, then page 821 it says, ईस्वी साल 17 फरवरी 1832 को आपकी विलादत हुई. And nowadays on the same ground they say 1835 he was born. In this page it's written 1832. Now, this is very strange that this man is putting forward the most flimsy evidence ever. Mirza Qadiani was obsessed with his date of birth. He actually has written that is Shaitani Khazain, volume 15, page 485 and 486. The book name is Tiryakul Qulub, and I am reading the words of Mirza Qadiani. He says, और जनाने वाली दाई की तहरीरी शहादत मेरे पास मौजूद है. He says, I have made the midwife to write down for me how and when I was born. They are saying, no, they heard from him. And what did they hear from him? I can read to them. This is the book written by Mirza Ghulam Qadiani. This is Shaitani Khazain, volume 13, page 177, Kitabul Bariya. And here Mirza writes in the footnote, अब मेरे ज़ाती सवाने ये हैं कि मेरी पैदाइश 1839 या 1840 में सिखों के आखिरी वक्त में हुई है, और मैं 1857 में 16 बरस का या 17वें बरस में था, और अभी रेश व बरदत का आगाज नहीं था. Mirza Qadiani is categorically writing the Gregorian calendar date, the date we use nowadays. He says, I'm either born 1839 or 1840. And he says in 1857, and he is giving the most authentic reference of 1857, the year when Mughal Empire was finished. And he said that year I was 16-year-old, and if you take 16 out of 1857, the year of birth is 1841, and if you take 17 out, it is 1840. I'll give you another reference. Shaitani Khazain, volume 13, page 192, same, and Kitabul Bariya. In footnote he writes, मेरी उम्र करीबन 34 या 35 बरस की होगी जब वालिद साहब का इंतकाल हुआ. And on the grave of his father, it's written that he died on June 1876. You take 34 out of 1876, he was born in 1842. And if you take 35 out of 76, he was born in 1841. Mirza Qadiani has written his date of year of birth at least 7 times in his books, categorically saying he was born 1840 or 1841. Time and again, Qadiani says 1835. Before that, they used to say 1832. Whereas his older brother, Mirza Ghulam Qadir, was born in 1833. When they told the Mirza Bashir, oh, he was born a year later and he was 8 years older. That's what Mirza has written. Reason why Qadiani do that? Between the Ghulam Murtaza, who he claims his father, he was his father, whereas he is not, was the employee of Sikh army, Dal Khalsa, from 1818 to 1849. Dal Khalsa was absent and fighting a war with the Afghanis between 1838 and 1842. I have got dozens of references to prove that, what I'm saying. And I have uploaded a video on this channel of mine, on this page of mine in TikTok, it says who is the father of Mirza Ghulam Qadiani. You can see the references there. He was not in Qadian. If Qadiani accepts the date of birth narrated by Mirza Ghulam Qadiani, he turns out to be a bastard, born bastard. Because if he is born, as he repeatedly say, in 1840 or 1841, then Mirza Ghulam Murtaza was gone in September 1838. He is born 2 years at least after he is gone, and he is not in the Qadian. That's one of the main reasons that the Qadiani tell the wrong date of birth, which is actually against every claim of Mirza Ghulam Qadiani. He has written his date in the calendar, Gregorian calendar, which is in use today in all the Western world. He has always used this calendar, majority of time, I would say. You see, that's why Qadiani would come and talk about the things which to mislead you from away from Mirza Qadiani. My message to Qadiani people is, if you are truthful, and if Mirza Ghulam Qadiani is even a half-decent man, talk about that man's life. I have got a summary of his life. He was a drunken, he was an opium addict, he was a thief, he was a dacoit, he was a fraudulent person, and I have got a proof of it. He did a fraud with the tax in India, and he did a fraud with everybody by deceptively taking money off them. He never prayed, he never led the prayers. He never even gave a single sermon, Friday sermon. That cannot be a prophet. You bring me one sermon of Mirza Qadiani, I will accept it. He never gave a sermon of Friday. He never led a Friday prayer. Extreme was this. The idiotic man who is a schizophrenic, Qadianis are trying to call him the prophet. He never even led the Eid prayer. He was very fond of doing a chilla for 40 days to kill Atham and everybody else, but he never did the itikaf of 10 days, which is the Sunnat Muhammad Mustafa sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He never paid zakat, and he wrote in his books that I have got the 3 houses full of money. He wrote 3 कोठे भरे हुए हैं पैसों के. He never did the Hajj. His claim is against every tradition of Muhammad Mustafa sallallahu alaihi wasallam and against every saying of the Quran. And this chap who came here and telling us Mumito ka, there is no such a reference in Bukhari. He hasn't read the whole thing. He doesn't even know the number of the hadith he is trying to show us. And there are 30 hadith of Muhammad Mustafa sallallahu alaihi wasallam repeatedly saying that it will be Isa alayhi salatu wasalam, Ibn Maryam alayhi salatu wasalam. Mirza is a Ghulam Qadiani, son of Chiragh Bibi, Urf Gasiti. He has got no resemblance, and he is not a Rasulullah. 5 surah of Quran, 9 verses of Quran have talked about Al-Masih, one particular Masih in Arab. That's why none of the Arabs are Qadianis. These are few people from Israel who call themselves Palestinians. No decent Arab has ever accepted Qadianis because of the fact they know the Quran talks about Al-Masih. Al-Masih means one particular Messiah, and every time it says Messiah, Al-Masih, it says Isa alayhi salatu wasalam, Ibn Maryam alayhi salatu wasalam. 3 places it says Rasulullah, the messenger of Allah. So let's talk about Mirza Qadiani. Prove him. My claim is very clear that he is a born bastard. Prove me wrong. I'll tell you the method. Mirza Ghulam Murtaza grave is there in Qadian. And you know where are the body parts of Mirza Qadiani? Just take by ultrasonic probe, take the DNA, do a match, publish us, we will give you all the expenses. Mirza Qadiani was a born bastard. There is a wrong start from. And one last thing I would say about Mirza Qadiani, why the Qadiani don't want to talk about it. Mirza Qadiani has repeatedly written in his book that the proof of his prophethood, Nauzubillah, so-called prophethood is, the one Durane Sar, he says, Durane Sar means he himself and his chele chante, his disciples write, Mirak means schizophrenia, mental illness. He says his mental illness because your Jamaat has translated the Durane Sar as Miram and Mirak. Miram is hysteria, Mirak is schizophrenia. He says the proof of his prophethood is mental illness above and his urine and feces below. This is why he said that, because the traditions of Muhammad Mustafa sallallahu alaihi wasallam say that the Isa alayhi salam will descend from the heavens with two sheets, yellow in color. And he said, oh, yellow sheet means it will be an illness. This is the mental illness of Qadianiyat. Quran repeatedly says that a prophet cannot be majnoon or mentally ill. Mirza says the proof of his prophethood is mental illness and his urine and feces. Against Quran, against Islam. This is not me saying that. Alfred Mall in his PhD thesis and Dropsy College review both say this is the worst claim anybody can make. This is what Mirza Qadiani is, mentally ill person. Against Quran, against Hadith. Hadith says, إِنَّهُ سَيَكُونُ فِي أُمَّتِي كَذَّابُونَ ثَلَاثُونَ كُلُّهُمْ يَزْعَمُ أَنَّهُ نَبِيٌّ وَأَنَا خَاتِمُ النَّبِيِّينَ لَا نَبِيَّ بَعْدِي. Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam has clearly said, and we are not like Qadianis talking in the air. It's the Trimzi international numbering 2219, 2219 is the Hadith number. And that is why Qadiani does not want to talk about Qadiani, because a man born bastard and entire life is full of crap. Any Qadiani can come. I will talk with the proof. I just has proven that he was a born bastard. If somebody can deny this or bring an evidence against it, I'm very happy. A Qadiani will never come and talk to you about the date of birth or a year of birth of Mirza Qadiani, because he knows the man was a born bastard. Anyway, sorry, I said a little more than I should have.
Jazakallah, Dr. Saib. Hope, mashallah, I think you have explained everything quite beautifully. And obviously, the Qadiani cleric did not even wanted to respond when MGA was born, but I'll give him the benefit of the doubt over here. I don't think he knew when MGA
No,
was.
he knew. Every Qadiani, the one who knows the date of birth is 1835, and if he knows even little bit about the Mirza Ghulam Qadiani, he knows. Actually, they wonder why the discrepancy between Ghulam Qadiani statement, which he has repeatedly written, not once, not twice, not 3 times, 7 times he has said, I'm either born in 1840 or 1841. They say, no, he is born in 1835. Before that, they used to say 1832. Why? First, maybe I used to think, I have written a nearly 500-page book about Mirza Qadiani in English. I wanted to call it Life and Time of Mirza Ghulam Qadiani, but now I'm going to change the title. I'm going to call it Life of a Liar. What do you think, Barrister?
I mean, I
No,
think
my
Doctor
publisher has
Sahab,
suggested,
Doctor Sahab,
honestly, he's an Englishman.
Doctor Sahab,
Assalamu alaikum, Afzal Sahab, how are you?
I'm fine. Doctor Sahab, just rename it Life of Pathetic Liar.
No. I had a publisher who published my usual book. So I said to him, "Oh, it's a life and time of a Mirza Ghulam Qadiani," and he's an Englishman, believe me. And he said, "Oh, I've read your script. When are you gonna finish it?" So he read. He never knew what the Qadianiyat was, and he's a pure Englishman. And he said, "I have read your script." He said, "Oh, look. I'll give you a better title for this. Call it Life of a Liar." People will read it. They want to know who is a liar.
Jazakallah, Dr. Saab, I think that was quite in detail in that regard. There are a few brothers over here, inshallah ta'ala.
Yeah.
We'll get back to you as well. Assalamu alaikum, brother Shahid. Hope you're doing well, sir.
Assalamu alaikum, Shah.
अल्हम्दुलिल्लाह डॉक्टर साहब और सारे दोस्त अहबाब अस्सलाम वालेकुम.
Walaikum assalam.
Yeah, you guys, you can carry on. I'm just only listening to you because my English is not very well. So, you know.
Barrister
still-
Saab, did you hear the man? Actually, Shah Saab speaks English in an English accent. You know, the man has learned English from, we learned English from elsewhere. But this man has learned English. His problem is his grammar is little bit, not a lot. Little bit here and there sometimes. However, his accent is very British accent. And he keeps on telling us, "Oh, I don't know how to speak English." Shah Saab, don't do it to us.
And yet,
Yeah, but, sometimes my
Assalamu
English is
alaikum.
getting ill. That's why I keep saying, I love you. Shall I help you? God is coming.
No. Dr. Saab, yet he lives in the UK for more than 10 years.
No, not 10 years, 20, 30 years. Yes.
23 years I live in UK.
No, I just said more than 10 years.
Yeah,
So it's more than 10 years.
No, the thing is, the man has learned the English from English people.
No, so Dr. Saab, where did Mirza Ghulam Qadiani learn English from?
From the Deputy, I'll tell you where did he learn. When he was a PN in the Deputy Commissioner's office for 4 years, he sent everybody who was like Mirza Qadiani on 3-month course of English. That's how he learned few words of English. Then he told the Qadiani brain dead people, "Oh my God, my Allah is giving me the ilhams in English." I mean, what a Barrister Saab, I'm sure you must have finished reading about his this Jali Khazain and Shaitani Khazain and the things. It's a terrible man. He's an utter liar.
Exactly, Dr. Saab. If anyone doesn't exactly know what Dr. Saab is referring to, so Mirza Ghulam Qadiani, even though he was a Punjabi, he received very few revelations in Punjabi. Most of his revelations were either in Urdu, Arabic, or Persian, and then there were some in unintelligible languages which no one can understand. So, for example, Patti Patti Gai, Sida Hoya Ola. No one knows what these words mean. Even Mirza Ghulam Qadiani does it. Similarly, Mirza Ghulam Qadiani used to receive revelations in English as well. So a Punjabi prophet received revelations in English. So what were those revelations of Mirza Ghulam Qadiani? The revelations were, "I love you, I miss you, I am with you, I shall help you," etc., etc. Like these sort of romantic remarks of Mirza Ghulam Qadiani, he attributed them towards being revelation from God, Dauzubillah. And these were the English revelations of Mirza Ghulam Qadiani. And if anyone has any doubt that Mirza Ghulam Qadiani was a Jahil, and even his God was Jahil as well, the reason for that, Mirza Ghulam Qadiani said, my God revealed to me, in which he said, he halts in Zilla Peshawar. And that was an English ilham on Mirza Ghulam Qadiani, English revelation. But Mirza Ghulam Qadiani did not know that the word Zilla is a Punjabi or Urdu word and it's not an English word. So he should have used, he halts in district Peshawar or city Peshawar or something like that. but he said he halts in Zilla Peshawar. So that again proves that God of Mirza Ghulam Qadiani, he was a Jahil as well.
You know, uh, some of the books of Mirza Ghulam Qadiani, you know, whenever he used to write a letter or something, he would write the Ghulam Ahmad Qadiani, and then he would say Qadian, Zilla Gurdaspur. But few times in his books he has written Qadian, district Gurdaspur. And particularly in Al-Hakam Akhbar, this word is written. In his statement, that Qadian district Gurdaspur, but the Yalash who used to give him the ilham, I mean, that's a terrible guy. The bloody man doesn't know Punjabi, doesn't know Urdu, doesn't know Arabic, doesn't know Farsi, and always gives him ilhams in wrong language, grammatically incorrect, all of them. And none of his ilham is in Punjabi. Patti Putti Gai, only one word Putti is Punjabi. Rest he meant to be Urdu thing. Patti was the man where Muhammadi Begum's husband Sultan Ahmed came from. And when she got married to Sultan Ahmed, and he took him back to Patti. Patti is in India near, from Kasur you cross the border, it is about 30 miles inside India. And that's a big town. In his time it was a small town. So when Muhammadi Begum went to Patti with her husband, he said, the God has told me Patti Putti Gai, which means the Patti will be destroyed. Now it is more than 100 years, Lanti Qadiani. Patti is not only bigger, it is 50 times bigger than what it was. And it never got destroyed. I don't know what do the Qadianis see in this. Most of the Qadianis are with Qadianis because they know nothing about Mirza Qadiani. Look, the man ran away once I tried to tell him what the Mirza Qadiani was.
Jazakallah, Dr. Sahib, exactly that's the case. Brother Afzal is over here as well. Assalamu alaikum, Afzal sir. Hope you're doing well.
Walaikum salam. Very good. Thank you very much. And I was going to ask you what happened to the guy? Why he ran away so fast? I mean, he came with very, it seems like was very enthusiastic, very, militant type of person, and all of a sudden he just vanished. What happened?
So he went on to research the date of birth of Mirza Ghulam Qadiani.
Okay.
That's a matter which is still under investigation. So he went to, I think, investigate that matter. And once, inshallah ta'ala, he finds the date of birth of MGA.
Well, good luck with that. Good luck with that. Tell him. Hey, Dr. Saab, I was going to say, what kind of revelation is this? Tarai Tai. This is also one of his revelation. What kind of...
The thing is, honestly, sorry, Brother Zach, if you understand, Mirza Qadiani was schizophrenic, and I'm not joking, I've got 4 videos. Each one is 2 to 3 hours long. I have got a video of 8 to 9 hours, which I have proven from the modern medicine and the books of Mirza Ghulam Qadiani and his course, that he was a perfect fit schizophrenic, and Mirak means schizophrenic. So a schizophrenic would say the things, one of the criteria of schizophrenia is they make the words and the phrases which have got no meaning. It's called neologism. That's the technical name for the neologism. They make words and phrases which make no sense to anybody. Like, I'll give you another example, which is even better. You know, he claimed to be the Jesus Christ. Unfortunately, he was not even near the dust of his feet. But what happened is that his last words were, Ali, Ali, lima sabaqtani. That's in Aramaic language, which means, oh Allah, will you leave me alone? And this is not ilham of Isa alayhi salam. The man was so crazy, he said he has got an ilham. Ali, Ali, lima sabaqtani, Elios. And the people asked, oh, Ali, Ali, lima sabaqtani is okay. This wasn't an ilham for Isa alayhi salam. That was his last words. That, oh Allah, will you leave me alone? What does Elios mean? Mirza said, oh, I don't know. The God hasn't told me, Jalash has not revealed the meaning of it. And that is a major criteria for schizophrenia.
So डॉक्टर साहब आपको पता है वो तार आई ताई आई ताई आई तार आई पता नहीं क्या है वो
मैंने नहीं पता कि रहता है केड़ी था
वो ऐसे चौधरी साहब was telling us
now barrister
that
sahab call that guy Afzal sahab have got a question for that guy I mean send him a message.
I have one question as well. What's the name of Thai?
ताई means ताई ताई की ताई ताई की ताई
I'm not saying what's the mean of